Watch out for the video. It'll be up in about 2 weeks. It's still got to be edited. There's something a little bit different. We did the pipes and spark plug cover the same color, kind of a new thing. We just tried it. Customer asked for it. He asked for the spark plug anyway. We did the pipes. That was our idea. So again, thanks so much for supporting us, for giving us the cool comments. I'm the one guy that says nice and cool, following you too.
Good morning. It's Friday. We got a red S2000 here on the lift behind me. It's a Craftworks car. I just looked up this car on YouTube. We did this car going on 3 years ago. This is December of 2015. So we built this one quite a while ago. He's actually just in for some maintenance. Oil change, trans fluid, diff fluid. So nothing major, just a little service. This is an old 20mm kit on an AP1. So you can see they do last if you, I don't know, you know how to install them, do them right. However you want to say it. Installation is key on these kits, and then you don't have any issues. Yeah, I mean, obviously this is going on 3 years on the same original 20mm belt, and I don't know, still works pretty good. He's happy with it. We're happy with it.
Alright, so I wanted to give you a quick update. We just talked about this and we didn't show what we did with this exhaust. This was kind of a unique design. It was kind of an experiment and it worked out actually surprisingly well. Well, to give you an idea, there is a boost activated valve here. This opens with boost. This car's set at 15 pounds of boost, actually 14 pounds of boost. That valve's designed to open at about 10. So what we have here is a single 70, and it splits over here into a merge, and this would be the direct path. So this would be direct path, but when the valve is closed, it forces the sound wave back down this pipe into this. Is actually curved back the opposite way. It's a 2 1/4 inch pipe. Then it goes into one of our traditional twin loops. So to basically make the car super quiet. I mean, it is absolutely silent quiet, which is what this customer wanted. So under normal operating conditions, it goes through this twin loop and it's a back reversion right here. Then as you hit boost, this valve opens and it's a straight through shot out of here. So it is a true Jekyll and Hyde style exhaust. It goes from insanely quiet to the point you can't hear anything to race car with a hit of the gas, which is cool. There's no pressing switches and waiting and opening valves. It's instantaneous. Again, this car was built in 2015, I think George said.
And the aftermath, all the fluid has been put in. New crush washer on the drain bolts, some oil put in it. It's all back together, ready to go back.
See, just as we thought the summer was over, we were done with this crazy rain.
I'm sorry, sir, but we're busy. What are you doing?
We did all new Swiss tracks in our main office and in the show area where we put our cars for delivery. The tiles we haven't cleaned since then. We've gone over them once with a vacuum, and I figured I would do a quick test here and show you. We actually just dropped some food down here on the tile, and as you see, it's getting all in between the tiles. A lot of people's concern is, there's holes in the tile, what happens with dirt, where does it go? Here it is right here. Here's a good close-up of what it looks like. Of course, you do this, you're not going to get it up. It falls between the gaps. It's that easy. Super easy. So you see the tiles still look new and clean, which is one of the things I like about them, because as the dirt does appear, you don't see it drops between the tiles, so every time you look at the floor, it always looks clean. Super duper easy, maintenance free. Again, these are Swiss Trax tiles. Okay, so some things are changing. The Corvette behind me, the 2013 ZR1, it's time to say goodbye. It's been a fantastic car. I love the car, but time for something new and something different, something we can experiment a little bit with, something that you don't see as much. I mean, this is a great car. It's a ZR1, it's the 60th anniversary, but still, there's a lot of them out there, and if you're trying to do something that stands out, it's hard to do with a car that doesn't stand out because everybody else has one. And there's a reason why everyone has one, is they're a great value for money. And a lot of people don't know or don't give certain cars chance. They have no idea what they're missing. It's funny, I sometimes look back at, I call it my CRX days. It was when I had a CRX and, you know, I used to do everything I could to it. It was part of when we started LHT. I used to love the car and I thought it was the best car in the world. And I used to be guilty of it, and I know a lot of others used to say, oh, those suck, those are no good, I don't like Fords, I don't like Chevrolets. And, you know, if you ever asked anybody else, they kind of tell you the same thing. Anything that they don't own, they don't like. You know, they kind of protect their own car. It's funny, a friend of mine came up just before we went to SEMA. I hadn't seen him for, I don't know, 8 years. It came up in a brand new BMW, I think it was an M4, and it jumps out, and I was like shocked to see it was him, and he was a big Honda guy. And I went, wow, I never thought I would see you driving one of these. And he goes, I know, right? I used to hate them. And I go, isn't it funny, the cars we used to hate them and we didn't know why? And it was partly because we didn't own one. You know, you look at a brand new Ferrari and you go, I hate those cars. Not many people say that, but it's usually because they can't afford one, or they've never driven one. More so. I was the same with Corvettes. I used to see a Corvette and go, I hate those big V8 car. And I never asked myself why. It's because I didn't know. I didn't drive one. I didn't know what it was like. So there's a lot of cars out there that, as I've kind of grown up and evolved, I've learned and changed and learned, you know, look at a car for what it is, not for who makes it or what your friends say, because you're missing out. You're missing out on so many things. This is like one of the most bargain sports cars there is. Not necessarily the ZR1, it's the most expensive of the Corvettes, even though it's a good value now. But the Z06 C6, I still think is a bargain sports car, and there will be another one in my future, I guarantee it. I will definitely do another one of those cars. One of my most favorite cars was the 2010 Z06. Basically heads, cam, header, exhaust, intake. It did 590 to the wheels. I'd run it out the track a bunch of times. Just a fantastic car. I'll try and link it in here. So, end of an era. This car is gone. SEMA sparked some interest, as it seems to do every year. In 2017, C7 Z06, actually in the flesh, where I got time to look at it and look at the interior and look at underneath, and they have it on display without a body on it. You get to see how it's made and some of the behind the covers type mechanics of it, and I was just blown away. I just loved it. And while I was at SEMA, I was texting people I know, and I was parting out the car I had at the time, which was the C6 Z06. I'd already sold the heads and cam and then the headers to someone else and the intake, and I was essentially piecing the car out in Vegas. The car's in Florida. So the day we came back, George and I tore into the car, took it all apart, sold the parts, made sure the car was back to stock, make sure it was perfect, clean, and advertised it. It was sold within a month. I ordered the C7, took 60 days to get that car. So again, just the evolvement of my cars, I guess. So I'll leave it at that. I'll tell you a little bit more about it. I'm going to film the whole process of the Corvette's replacement and the Corvette when it leaves. I won't give too much away. I'm not trying to make it a tease, but I'm going to make it a whole episode of the replacement. And like I mentioned before, I've been very careful over the years, and the company has started to get pretty good credit, which is hard to do for a company. Companies, it's hard to build any kind of credit because you tend to be using this week's revenue for next week's project, and it's very careful planning to try and build some reserve, so to speak, and credit by paying the bills on time, being adamant about making every payment on time. And basically not doing anything silly with the company, not trying to use it to fund my own toys. Well, essentially I kind of am, but it's an advertisement. But it's easy to do. When your right pocket is your money and your left pocket is the business money, it's so easy to just keep switching back and forth. And it takes a little bit more, I guess, resistance to do that, because it's so easy to go, well, there's plenty of money in this pocket, I'll just use it to buy this. And it's not the way to do it. If it's not doing the left pocket any good, don't put it in the right pocket. That's my business advice for today. So say bye-bye to the Corvette. We're going to be just cleaning it. I'll give it a wax just to make sure it's absolutely perfect. It's got a ceramic coat on it so it doesn't get dirty. I mean, you could put it in the rain for a minute and it washes itself. That stuff is so good. But I want to make sure it's absolutely, you know, perfect.